Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and thank you for watching today. I have been seeing all over YouTube some fantastic videos of what people are showing as their favourite art supplies of 2024. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I would really love to do a video like that. So, and it really made me start to think about what have I really enjoyed using this year. So I thought I'd do a sort of a shrunk down version. I haven't got as many items as some people because I really wanted to focus on what I had got this year that had really sparked joy and what had really made me want to use it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's things that I've used tons and tons and tons and tons, but it's the things that when I have turned to them, they've really been joyful to use and I've really enjoyed them. So I think I've got 5 items and I'd love for you in the comments if there's something that has sparked joy in you this year in your art and craft that you would like to share in the comments, to say what has been something that you have really enjoyed using during 2024, because we are now hurtling towards the end of the year. Every year they get quicker, so I thought it'd be a nice way to start to round up the year on my channel. And I'd also like to say a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed, everybody who's watched, everybody who's commented, everybody who's put a thumbs up and liked my videos. All of that is really, really helpful to my channel, and it gives me the incentive to keep going and to keep making more videos, which I'm hoping will continue throughout 2025. And I'm hoping to get a few supplies for Christmas and my birthday, so there may be a little bit of a haul, but I really don't want to. My aim for 2025 is to cut right back on art and craft supply buying, because I look around me sometimes and I think I've got so much that I really truly don't use and that I need to use a lot more. So that is my aim. So it will possibly be my last haul. I'm not promising that. I'm not saying I'm doing a low buy or a no buy. I don't set myself targets like that because I think they often can lead to you feeling like you failed when it's not really a failure. But I'm going to attempt to not buy as many things. So I thought I'd start off my little sparking joy with this sketchbook. Now, I found out about this through Sketches and Scrubs, and I have linked her channel below before, but I will link it again for you. She is a YouTuber based in the UK, and she showed this on one of her videos, and I just thought that looks like what I need. It has been a fantastic book, so much so that I've got a second one that's ready to go in case I run out of this one, which is quite unlikely because you get an awful lot of pages in this book, and that's the point. Now, it is a hand stitched 100% cotton, but it's cotton rag paper, so it's a different to a more smoother cotton paper that you might find from, say, like Etchers or Archers or all of those big well-known paper making companies. So it can be quite textured, it is quite rough, but there's so much in this book. Now, this isn't even a full book, because if we look at the back, I have actually even cut some pages out to use for other things, because I felt like with the amount of paper in here, I could get away with that. Now, what I did is I just like to have that on the front, so it reminds me if I'm talking about it. And it's only 100 GSM, so the paper is, you know, reasonably thin, but there's so much of it that you just feel that you can't go wrong on it. You can't. It doesn't matter if you do something and you don't like it, turn the page, start again. To the point that with my pages, I don't even worry about using the backs of the, oh, that's coming off, backs of the previous page. And they have actually stood up. On here we have got watercolors, we've got acrylics, we've got inks, we've got collage, we've got glitters. There's so much that this paper is taking, and it's not overly bleeding through considering that it is so thin. The only time I find it does is things like this. If I draw like with something like a Neocolor 2 or a graphite pencil, something like that, that can tend to come through onto the back like that. But because you don't have to use that page, because you've got so many, I'm not even sure how many pages you get in this, I mean, I have really been using this. I've loved it for playing with my watercolors so that I can experimenting with drawing my own pages, as that one was, as this one was, experimenting with things like grid art journaling, messing about, just drawing my own, painting my own things, which is not my forte, just messing around, just having fun. This was literally, you put this gold paint on here as a run-off or something, and then one evening I didn't really feel like doing much in particular. I just wanted to have a little play around with things, and so I just sat and doodled basically, and I felt that this was a book that I could get away with that because there is so much paper in here. So that has got to be one of the things that I've really, really enjoyed using this year, and I will continue to be doing that. So I've got a couple of those. I've got, moving on, some paints. Now I've put more money in here. Now I am, God, fingers crossed, I had another set on a wish list, so I'm hoping. So far, the core paints by Golden, and I have to say I'm not choosing any of these I'm not reviewing them as such for price or anything like that, because these are quite expensive paints, but I have absolutely loved them. And for me, I'd rather have a few paints that I really love than tons and tons of ones that I don't. So these are the core. I have the high chroma and I have the earth colours, and I've sort of emptied them all into one pot, because what I have done is I have sort of put them into this palette. This is something else I have quite enjoyed this year, is these ceramic palettes. So I don't think I use them at all to their full potential, but a tiniest bit of this paint goes such a long way, and it is so pigmented, vibrant, and it flows so in such a fun way, which is everything I personally want from a paint. Now, if you're a very fine artist and you like your paint to stay where it is, and maybe you do very realistic paintings, it might not be the paint for you. But for me, because I like playing, I like abstracts, this is ideal for me. So that is one of my paints that has spark joy. I haven't used it as much as I possibly could have done, but that is my aim for next year, is to really get that paint out lots more. So that's one paint, but there is more paint, because the other paint that I have really been enjoying is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi. Now, I started off this year with this set. This is the 36 set, and I love, I've totally contaminated that one. I love the size of the pans. I love the fact I can really get my brush in there. It's not like a traditional Western watercolour. It is quite opaque. It doesn't act, well, I'm not an expert in watercolours, this is the thing. So to me, I'm not comparing it really to other paints. I'm not saying whether this is good for this or good for that. It's good for what I use it for. And I think that's the thing in art and craft, is you've got to find what works for you. So what works for you might not work for somebody else, and vice versa. But for me, I have really enjoyed this set. And I have also really enjoyed the Art Nouveau set, which has a lot more muted colour, but I think I've enjoyed this one because it's got this colour in, and that's got to be one of my favourite colours of all time. But they are just beautiful colours. They're lovely big pans. You can grab them out, just grab a few, really play around with them, and I have found them to be a joy. And that is what this video is about, things that have given me joy. So core and Kuretake Gansai Tambis have been my two sets of paints that I have really loved this year. Now, if you've been watching videos recently, you will know that the thing that I have been really loving in the past couple of months is this collage. I've always been a collage fan. I do enjoy collage. I've had Dilutions collage papers, I've had Dina Wakley's collage papers, I've had Stamperia rice papers, I've had all sorts of different brands in rice papers and collage, but these books have been, for me, really sparked that love of collage again. Now, I have two different brands, so to speak. I have Collage Soup, which is from Emily Stone, and I so far only have two books, but the amount you get in these books is just amazing, and I think that also helps I mean, for me it helps, and maybe for some people it might be overwhelming. For me it's like a chocolate box. It's amazing. I love it. I love the quirkiness. I love the range of images. I love the different styles. For me, as a quite eclectic crafter, you may have gathered from my channel that this suits me, because I can, if I'm feeling like I want to do something vintagey that day, I can find something for that. If I want to do something fresh and funky, I can find something for that. I really just love, 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 truly, these books. I think they are fantastic. So if you are somebody who loves collage, these, you know, probably very suitable for you. And then I discovered, after I discovered the collage soup, I discovered that Marta from Marami's Small Art was also bringing out some books. Now, so far, again, I've got 4 of her books. She's got, I think, she's got lots now. Oh, I probably can't see all the books she's got anymore because I've chopped into that page. She's got 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks like there's probably at least 18 books now. I've got 4 of them. I tend to go for the ones that I know is in my style, in the things that I enjoy. So the very first one I bought was the little personas, because steampunk, cogs, rust, they are all things that I do love. But they are such beautiful images. They're very different to collage soup. So this is the thing. I like mixing and matching different things. I like going between different styles. So for me, having a range is all what is important. And I mean, just gorgeous. So I got little personas, I got autumn, I got winter, and I got a fairies in bloom. And the reason I chose fairies in bloom is because it's got a mixture of mushrooms, it's got flowers, it's got houses. This is a really nice one if you want a general book. The only thing this one hasn't got, perhaps that some of the newer ones have got, is sentiments. But a range, left my bits of paper in there. A range of sizes. They are fantastic. So these have truly been a joy to work with this year, in particular the last couple of months, I have to admit. So I can guarantee that they will be carrying on across next year. And last but not least, something really quite little and simple. I have discovered this year that maybe I'm going to turn into a bit of a paintbrush fiend. I've decided that I really enjoy different sorts of paintbrushes. I'm looking at different styles of paintbrushes, different shapes of paintbrushes now, whereas before it was always for my mixed media work, I'd have a flat, and for my watercolors I'd just have like something like this around. I'm now discovering that you can get different shapes. So this is a sword. You can get filberts, you can get quills, and quills I love. Now these are from Artway, which is, it says Wiltshire, England, and they did come in a lovely like fabric wrap, but I took them out because they sit in a pot next to me. But I just thought they're so soft and you hold so much water. It is this bit, I have to admit, I think it's just this bit here, the aesthetic of this that I absolutely truly love. But they are such fun brushes, and hopefully I will be in my wish list getting a couple of new brushes. I don't know what I'm getting, but you know, I've given all the advice out to the family, so let's hope. So that is something else that I have really enjoyed using this year. was going to mention this because these are something that I haven't used actually in my videos, but I did want to give them a little bit of a mention because I have really been using them in other work, and that's these Hoo alcohol markers. I've never been a big alcohol marker person. I do actually prefer colouring with watercolour, but every now and again I go through a bit of an alcohol marker phase, and I found the ones I had, I didn't have enough variation in colour, and I'd seen lots of info and reviews about these ones to say that for their price they were exceptionally good, and in this case it was price that probably drove me to these rather than quality, although their quality is very good, because I don't use alcohol markers enough to justify something like a Copic or anything like that, because it just wouldn't be used to its full potential. But I do use them a lot when I'm doing things to do with card making, more for colouring images, and sometimes I do use them to colour images to go in my art journaling, but not that much. And I don't tend to do it on videos because it's just such a long process of building up your colours and things like that. But I thought I'd give them a little mention because I have really enjoyed them. I have the, is it the I don't know. But I have the one that's got the chisel and the bullet, because the bullet and the chisel are actually the ones that I use the most. I know a lot of people like the brush nibs. I have some alcohol markers that have brush nibs, and I don't tend to use that. I tend to use the bullet nib. So for me, these are ideal for me. And I got a set of, I think it's 120. I don't know if it's not 80. I'm just trying to count. They're in front of me. I'm trying to count them, but I think it's 120. So it's got a nice wide range, and that should last me for a long, 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 long time. So just a little mention of the Hoo markers as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that was of interest to you a little bit. It was interesting for me to actually start to think about what I actually have really enjoyed, because I think that's sometimes quite important, because then that sort of guides you a bit towards what you want to be using, what you want to be spending your money on. And I think as artists and crafters, we can tend to spend a lot of money on things to discover that actually that's not what I enjoy. And maybe by having taken a little bit of time at the end of this year to think, what have I really enjoyed? What is it that sparks that joy in me and makes me want to craft or makes me want to do art? And because for me, they're interchangeable. And then that will guide you towards maybe buying less, but buying those things you know you're going to use. So thank you ever so much. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd love you to subscribe to my channel. And if you need to want to be notified, you just click on that little bell and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and leave me a comment to let me know what has sparked joy in you this year with your art and craft materials. So thank you ever so much. Have a lovely rest of the year, and I hope 2025 is happy and healthy for everybody. Bye.